The sad reality is a lot of online courses are never finished. So anybody that buys a course online that seems interesting rarely finishes the course. So the matrix to look at is how far people go into completing a course. Sometimes if it's mandatory to complete a course, like there are safe sport or other types of e-learning modules that are mandatory for people to complete in order to get a certification, that's an easy thing to complete. But a lot of time on a voluntary basis, coaches might not eventually equal. So it's better to build a course that is chopped down in smaller, more consumable bites of learning. How do we eat an elephant? One bite at a time. So, in terms of online learning, you should almost chop your training material into smaller modules that people can consume. So, if I know my module will take me 10, 20 minutes to do, I might do one today, I might do one this weekend. So, it feels like I'm progressing faster. So, one of the matrix is how far it can go, but in terms of design, also having a percentage of how much you've completed the course helps as well, but it's better on the shorter side. And then studies are showing that shorter courses or shorter modules online tends to work better at completion. Now, matrix is essentially how far to complete it, how much engagement they have, how many times they've come back to the material. If you have videos, it's basically the same matrix as someone would look for social media. Without going into details, it's basically have they watched the whole video, how many views you've had. So there's a variety of metrics that are interesting, but at the end of the day is are the coaches engaging with the material? So that's the most important thing. Are they getting something out of it? Part of it is also to ask them feedback about it. And the thing is, there needs to be a lot of thought put into how the material will be designed. Because once you build a course, it's not easy to change. Now, if I'm a professor, I can quickly turn around and deliver a different way in person. But when you build an online course, usually it's a lot harder to change and modify after it's been launched. So there needs to be more thought put into the instructional design process in order to make sure that it's engaging. And the best way is often looking at what else is being popular, what else works well, and model that approach. And as I said, one of the best things we see is when people get engaged. I've seen, for example, a safe sport training program that was very, very well done. If I can use this as to illustrate best practices, is that we all agree that safe sport is an important topic. Yet most people would probably agree that it's not the most exciting topic, much like doing CPR as part of your coach training. Okay, well, CPR, it's first aid. Talking about injury prevention is not as exciting as talking about how to increase performance, how have more confidence, or things that, or how to be faster. These are exciting topics. But safe sport could be technically a very boring topic. Yet, one of the modules that I've seen is very well designed in a sense that when I took the training, I felt compelled, I felt engaged. Part of what they had testimonials from athletes that were mistreated, that had, witnessed uh, intimidation, that felt excluded, and all kinds of different stories. Then they had some videos and some short text and some definition. Finally, the 45 minutes went by fairly quickly because I was engaged into the training material instead of being a lecture or boring definition or being preached at. Essentially, a lot of the modules are being preached at, and I'll give you another example. I teach at a community college, and one of the modules we had to take was anti-harassment module. No problem. I took it. Not overly excited about it, but it's important. We all know that. That's the most boring topic, most boring e-learning I've ever took. I mean, it was like being preached at, and okay, you shouldn't do that, you should do that, and definition. It was boring. It was not engaging at all. Yet it was designed for teachers and faculties. So the idea is keep in mind if you were going to take the learning, how could you make it more interesting, more exciting? So the most important metric is do they complete the material? Do they engage with the course? And at the end of the day, any other metric doesn't have the same meaning than this one, which is if you're going to take the time and invest resources to develop a course, a module, or the learner getting something out of it, or they completing it if it's a self-learning thing. So that's the most important thing. So put some thoughts into making it interesting, engaging, meaningful.